guess this is just the, these are some statistics from the first 33 buildings that sought a LEED rating of some kind, all the way from certified to platinum. At the time, there was only one platinum building, so the data is, it's very hard to make conclusions when you only have a sample area of one. But nonetheless, it did show that there was a dramatic increase at that time, of about 6 or 7% in the cost for the platinum building. Again, these were not, high-rise, suburban, high-square-footage buildings. A lot of these projects were appropriately trying to address the suburban sprawl issue, and were done in much lower density. Bruce has more experience, I think, with the cost.
Well, I think that it's important to note that they're not really applicable to high-density, high-rise buildings necessarily. It's very hard to collect this kind of data because not everybody wants to publicize it. But we have analyzed the Helena, and we've determined that that's about a 5.5% premium to go for a gold rating, and about 1.5% of that is the Blackwater system. We probably could have gotten a certified for maybe $2 a square foot, and so on in between. There are any number of ways of looking at this. Is difficult to get the same people to analyze it the same way, because a lot of systems you don't have to put in. When you're putting in a premium system of some sort, say HVAC system, it means that there's other aspects that you don't have to do. So as I say, it's hard to evaluate. 4 Times Square, the DERSA estimated that the premium for that building was between 10 and 12%. Now that cost today would be a fraction of that, because at that time, variable speed fans and pumps and gas-fired absorption, all those things were paid. We had to pay whopping premiums for those, even though the paybacks were within, say, 2 or 3 years. There is no reason to think that it would be in that category today. We haven't done an office building recently to evaluate it.
But I even think now with the market penetration of LEED, and what they've done is they've been able to provide more products in the workplace or in the building place. Those numbers have come way down.
Well, there was an analysis done of the Solaire, and they determined that the actual cost was about 14%. But again, because there were so many requirements over and above LEED, that almost had a negative effect on the market, because people thought that if that's what it's going to cost, it's too much.
And it was a great example of the public-private partnership, because the city, or the state in this case, Fairfax City State entity, was able to subsidize some of that overrun by negotiating with the land deal. So, to get this stimulus going, they put their best foot forward where it counted, which was the sale price, and it's reaped benefits.
So a lot of people say, well, how do you get your clients to do green buildings? And we have some catchwords. If we're talking to an office building client, or a tenant for an interior space, we talk about productivity. Because if you can increase your productivity by 10%, and it's been demonstrated that it can increase it by as much as 18%, you're talking a lot of money as compared to just saving 10% of your energy or whatever your operational costs are. On the corporate side, there is definitely a return of investment, and the corporations are beginning to recognize that. On the residential side, we talk about health, and the tenants are very interested in living in healthy environments. Valley Park City's done a sort of a post-occupancy survey of their buildings down there, and 45% of the tenants not only said they would never not live in a green building, but they would be willing to pay more rent to live in a green building. Retail sales, there are cases where they've demonstrated, I think it's Walmart or someplace like that, has demonstrated that by having natural light in their sales area, they can increase their sales by 40% over an artificially lit environment. Educational, cultural, of course, we talk about public enlightenment, just bringing